Guys, are people suffering from cognitive dissonance about this economy, or are they just too naive and stupid to even realize that we're on the verge of a full-blown economic collapse? Today on Yahoo Finance, there's this article, which I'll include up here in my information box, that said pending home sales fall 16% in November. 16%. I wonder if this has to do with all these government incentive programs for new home buyers stopping. And these senior analysts, namely this one at BMO Capital Markets, named Jennifer Lee, she said this was bound to happen at some point, although not by this much. And then she goes on to say, gulp. Gulp. Well, as surprised as she's acting, I have a few gulps of my own. What about the bailout money, the $700 billion working its way through the fractional reserve banking system, where all these banks are free to lend 90% and only hold 10% of the deposit on hand? That's going to greatly increase our money supply, thus collapsing the value of our dollar. What about the $700 billion that the Federal Reserve printed when Congress originally shot down the bailouts? We don't hardly ever hear about that. Well, that's going to work its way through the fractional reserve banking system. Gulp. What about these economic advisors and professors which are saying that the double dip recession never happened, so why worry? Which I'll include another article from Yahoo Finance up in my information box. They're giving people false hope, and nobody's going to be prepared for an economic collapse at all. That makes me gulp. What about the real gulp? The $12.3 trillion national debt. Did you know that the entire revenue generated by the income tax only pays for the interest on the national debt? We are never going to eat that thing away. We're never going to take away from the meat of the debt. It's just going to sit there and grow and grow and grow, and there's not anything anybody can do about it. Did you know China quit buying our country's debt? That makes me gulp as well. You know, this economy reminds me of a chess game where you're really getting your butt kicked, and all these pieces are lining up, and you know it's only a couple moves away from checkmate, and that's exactly where I feel we are. We're just a couple moves from checkmate. It's not going to take much. You know you're going to get it. So why are people not preparing? People, please prepare yourselves. Store some food, store some gold, store some silver. Store ammunition, store durable goods, store good durable clothing. Have several pairs of shoes on back in the back of your closet. Things like that. It's not very hard to do, and it doesn't have to be very expensive. But please prepare yourselves. It's checkmate time. There's no way around that. It's going to happen. I don't care what they're saying on CNBC. It's going to happen. Please, please prepare yourself. Thank you.